Now, PM speaks on the parliamentary breach. What happened is very serious, and he's further said that we must go into the details, every detail and nitty-gritty of the situation. Now, these are the latest inputs that we are getting in. This is a big breaking input that we are getting. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has finally spoken on the parliamentary breach, and he said what happened is extremely serious and we must get into the details. Well, Pallavi continues to stay with us on the broadcast. Pallavi, what more details do we have, and especially after PM Modi speaking on the parliamentary breach?
So this is an article which has just been published in Dainik Jagran, where the Prime Minister has given an interview, and the first time the PM has spoken out on a parliament breach, which has seen much controversy, where the PM's silence has also been questioned. Well, in this interview, he's making the point that what happened in Parliament on 13th of December is extremely serious, and we must probe the details to find out what really went wrong, where was the choke, where was the delay, and why is it that a Parliament security, which is supposed to be the most priority, that was breached. So this is his first comment coming in. Just to put it into context, there has been a lot of criticism coming in from the opposition parties that both the Prime Minister as well as the Home Minister have remained silent and not made a statement inside the House. I think this is also going to give rise to more.
Well, we've lost our connection with Pallavi, but so far, according to the details that we've been getting in, PM Modi has first time opened up on the parliamentary security breach, and he said that whatever happened in the parliament, especially with the security breach, is extremely serious, and we must go into the details. Well, Pallavi has joined us back on the broadcast. Pallavi, I'll request you to continue.
Yes, so we saw that how the last 2 to 3 days in Parliament were completely washed out, mainly because the opposition parties had not been able to get the Home Minister or the Prime Minister to speak. Now the Prime Minister has spoken out, though he has been micromanaging the situation from the background. He's been making it very clear to his colleagues that don't make it about us versus them. This is something which has happened serious. So in this article, where he's given an interview to Dainik Jagran, he's made it very clear that this is topmost priority. What happened was serious, and more details must be found out. What went wrong? Who were the people who were involved behind it? And was there a larger plan in place?
Right, Pallavi, help us also understand, in the past, over the last few days, opposition has also been levelling concerns of the Home Minister coming on the floor and the Prime Minister coming on the floor and talking about this, addressing this entire parliamentary security breach. Should we be expecting that anytime soon?
Well, as I said, Parliament will reconvene on Monday,
right?
And that is when the criminal amendment bill is also going to be tabled, and the Home Minister is going to be speaking on. I think the opposition parties are not going to be happy with the fact that the Prime Minister has spoken outside. They also made the point that why is it that the Home Minister also spoke in an interview and did not speak inside the House. I have my doubts if the opposition parties are going to allow the government or the Home Minister to carry on the transaction. So there's a possibility that they walk out, or there's a possibility that they are suspended, and therefore that is going to give rise to more confrontation between the two.
Right. Pallavi, Prime Minister has also reached out and suggested that we should not be politicizing this entire matter. However, the political showdown is raging over this security breach. What more do we know about it, and what more should we expect?
Well, in fact, in that interview, the Prime Minister is also saying that baat vivad ki zarurat nahi hai. There's no need to have debate and discussion and fights as far as this entire Parliament breach is concerned. The entire House, the entire Parliament and MPs must behave as one, which is that, this is something which affects all of us. I think the points which he's making are very, very critical in that interview to Dainik Jagran. Of course, acknowledging the fact that what happened, the breach is absolutely serious. No compromise on that. The details and investigations are on. It must be probed. But more important, no need for vaad vivad, no need for debate and discussions, no need for tutu meme. And this is an issue which definitely should not be politicized. That's the point which is being made by the Prime Minister. I don't know whether it's going to cut much ice with the opposition as far as they are concerned. The Home Minister, the Prime Minister should have made a statement by now, at least the Home Minister. And I think the opposition will be even more angry about the fact that why is it that the Prime Minister can give an interview speak to the media and not inside the house? Why is it that the HM spoke at a media event and not inside the house? This increases the confrontation between the opposition and the government. Certainly, you're going to see this from tomorrow onwards when the house reconvenes.
Right. Pallavi, on the context where the Prime Minister is specifically mentioning that we must get into the details of this entire serious matter, the ongoing investigation has been covering a lot of parameters. But what more can the authorities get into, and what should be expected on the investigation front, especially after PM Modi giving a statement on this issue?
Well, I mean, Kuhina, you're absolutely right. The investigation has been gathering steam, and there have been 8 accused who have been arrested. The alleged mastermind, which is Lalit Jha, was also picked up. And there are many details which are coming out. Is that while it's not an act of terror, this is something which has been planned for many, many months' time. The ones who have been accused and who have been arrested claim it is done because they are frustrated with the jobless and unemployment. There are links which, according to investigative agencies, being drawn in with the Bhagat Singh fan club, with the left-leaning ideology. Neelam, for example, was also seen as a Kisan protest. Nothing wrong with that. But the point which is being made is that there was a planning in this madness. It was not a knee-jerk reaction. Actually, it was a shocking scene, frankly speaking, Kuhina, because it was unprecedented. It was a deep compromise of security, and investigations have been going on. And this is topmost priority. Committee has been formed. Yesterday also, for example, the Speaker wrote to all the MPs saying this is our priority. We're going to ensure that Parliament is safe and those who are responsible are held accountable, and this doesn't get repeated once again.
Right, Pallavi, thank you so much for all those details. I'll request Payal to join us in. A very good morning, Payal. A strong statement coming in from the Prime Minister, especially of the parliamentary security breach. What is perceived out of this statement on the opposition's front, and what is the majoritarian view of this statement?
Well, so far people have been questioning as to why the government is silent, why the Prime Minister is silent, but the Prime Minister has spoken out and the Prime Minister said that this is a very, very serious issue.
Right.
This needs to be dealt with the utmost maturity, and there is no place for politics as far as this is concerned. This comes in as a very important statement after what Rahul Gandhi said yesterday. Rahul Gandhi blamed those people who had actually jumped from the balcony as people who are frustrated because of unemployment. This is more than that, and this is more serious than that. That is something which the Prime Minister has reiterated in the Hindi daily. So obviously this should actually shut all the arguments. Because like we have reported earlier, the Prime Minister earlier also told his government and told his ministers that it is important to take a very, very serious view of the entire issue. It is not about you versus me or us versus them. It is an issue to concern with the security of the country, to secure the Parliament, which is of course Indian temple of democracy. So obviously a very, very important fact coming to the fore, and the Prime Minister was speaking out on the entire issue.